Hello, classmates, professor. Today I will be doing back in the frame. Today I will be doing a standalone splint, which can be used whenever you see a boxer's fracture, which would typically occur on the fifth digit right here. And to prevent this from moving around, you can do one of two things: a standalone or a buddy splint, and I'll be showing both during this video. First, we're going to start with a standalone splint. For this, you will need a SAM splint, 3-inch tape, and Coban. So first, you want to cut out, first, you want to measure, put your left hand out for me. Your right hand is the affected hand. So first you want to measure on the unaffected hand, essentially the length of the finger, and then you're going to wrap it over, right? So now I can mark it about right here, and I know about how long I need to cut my SAM splint. The SAM splint can also be used for other things, like splinting entire arms or legs. So once you have the piece cut out, you will take the injured hand, place it like this, and essentially what you're doing here is you're stopping the movement of the finger itself. Use your unaffected hand and hold this in place for me. Your Coban doesn't have to be any type of length, crazy length. You just want to make sure that prior to putting on the splint and after the splint, you make sure that the individual can still feel their pinky. If you have access to it, you can check the capillary refill to ensure that you're not putting on your splint too hard. So, first one, you're just going to come around. Super simple. The SAM splint does most of the immobilization here. All you're doing is securing the SAM splint to the finger, essentially, with the Coban and the tape. So I'm not going to pull too tightly as I come around here, primarily because I don't want to further injure the individual that I'm wrapping. And then you don't have to use tape. I prefer to use tape just to secure the end of the Coban to the finger. So. Right. And again, the point of this splint is to ensure that the pinky is not moving up and down like this, right? So that when the fracture occurs here, you don't want it to move around like this to cause further injury. Another way to do this, or any type of buddy splint, I'm going to remove this one real quick, and I'm going to show a buddy splint. So, for a buddy splint, same thing, right? You would measure on the unaffected hand, and essentially here you're just measuring the piece that you're going to put in between, right? So I would have it like this. I would cut it shorter. Come over. Use the unaffected hand and hold these together for me. And for me personally, this is my preferred method anytime there's an injury to any of the digits. I'm going to use some more Coban here. And same thing, right? Prior to going into it, you're going to check for cap refill, make sure that they still have feeling and that they can move the finger, right? And again, the 3-inch tape is not necessary, but I prefer to use it to secure my Coban down. And so again, the same thing here is immobilization. The individual can't bend their pinkies, and then they can't move them, right? The whole finger moves now instead of where it would be injured at. Other than that, This has been how to splint a standalone splint and a buddy splint for a boxer's fracture of the fifth digit. Thank you guys for your time, and I look forward to responding to your replies.